Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and major things afoot down in Dolton as we have tracked this story now for over a year of Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Maybe you don't know everything about it, but a mayor down there that has been accused of taking funds from the city and going on lavish trips to Vegas, to New York, to Miami, and using those funds for, pleasure, not necessarily a business trip, but that's how they were kind of perceived. There was a whole list of accusations the FBI is investigating.
Yep.
There's so much going on down there in Dalton of the corruptness of Tiffany Henyard and the mayor, the winner of Piece of Garbage Madness 2024.
It's a
Brian
bummer.
and Kenzie.
It's, I don't know if people know this, but when you're a politician, you're not just supposed to take all the tax dollars and use them for fun. They're supposed to help the city that you run, fix potholes, provide jobs. Maybe if you are going on a business trip, it's to help bring businesses into that city to help provide more for people. That's kind of the purpose. It's not like a lottery every week when the taxes come in. Like
Sounds fun, though. Sounds pretty fun.
I mean, I get where she's coming from. I'm sure it was a good time.
Well, they added up her being, and the mayor and the other job she has making like $300,000 a year, where the average person in Dalton makes about $28,000 a year. Very repressed area. But here's a story from WGN's Courtney Spinelli on Dalton trustee Jason House running for Dalton mayor.
Senior trustee Jason House announced his campaign for mayor today with current and a former trustee showing their support and their plans to seek another term. Now, this group says it's time to clean house and give both the residents and businesses back what they deserve.
This campaign kickoff event is not about slandering anyone, least of all the current administration.
Now, wait a minute. That doesn't sound right.
This is already off to a bad start for them. If I were them, I would be slandering this current administration. I'd be very forward about slandering this current administration.
Like a smidgen of slander would
Just
be
a
good.
little something.
I mean, the presidents do it to each other.
Yeah, I mean,
what makes you above that? Who cares?
Every other American election, and other ones in other countries as well, these countries were built on slander.
America was built on slander.
Yeah.
And actually...
Which we've learned, especially during Kenzie's crimes, unfortunately.
and also, most of it, or not most of it, but much of it is false. Much of it is just, a bunch of hubbaloo.
You know what? In this particular scenario, though, it could all just be true. So...
Yeah.
For when if you're gonna slander Tiffany Dalton, you have plenty of material. You don't have to make anything up.
Yeah, so I'm not sure I like that angle, but let's continue on with the story from WGN.
It is about changing the narrative.
Sunday's announcement comes amid ongoing political...
By the way, I'll go back there. It's really hard to change the narrative. So you might as well slander. Just from my...
You know what? You want to change the narrative, but how about you bring up the things that should be changed so people feel confident that you realize what's happening?
Listen, my experience in high school as a vice president of my class, my senior class, slander works.
What lies did you spread in high school?
Oh, something about possibly the person that was ahead of me in that situation stealing toilet paper from the locker rooms.
Wow, that could sink a student council career if I've ever heard something.
Why is that even that bad? That's the best you could come up with?
It worked. I was the vice president. That's all I needed.
Imagine finding out you're going to vote for somebody and that they steal toilet paper. You'd change your vote.
I don't know. They're thrifty. I think they do a lot with the student budget.
But it was the budget, very small, and that toilet paper budget was gone because they were stealing it. We're talking about a budget of about $72.
I want a good prom, though. You know what I'm saying?
Let's continue with the story.
Sunday's announcement comes amid ongoing political dysfunction in Dalton, from contentious board meetings to a federal investigation into village finances, putting its mayor and her allies under the microscope. Recent months have put the South Suburban Village on the national map.
We have been steadfast in our efforts to stop the gross mismanagement and abuse of power that people have seen in the village today.
House laid out visions of ethics reform, restoring checks and balances, and creating a mayor's office he says residents don't fear. He says no more lavish trips, fancy flights, or costly expenses on the taxpayer's dime.
Okay, that's what you run on there. That's kind of shade he's throwing at Tiffany Henyard there. I like that. Okay.
Among many other things, he shared plans to reform public safety, putting those sworn to protect and serve back on the streets.
We've also seen $1 million a year of security following around one individual instead of being on the streets where they belong.
They say it won't be
Slander.
easy, but it will.
Should we have a slander bell?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, like I've heard it 4 times. Let's just now you're just a lying politician because just be like, listen, I'm gonna bring it up.
Also, he can say her name. We know who he's going against. He said that person using a security detail for $1 million
Just
a year.
say it.
It's unfathomable that the
Was
city
it
of Dolton.
Voldemort?
I was just going to say.
Tiffany. Hello. I mean, what's the problem?
Unfathomable, but in the city of Dolton, that the security detail is $1 million a year.
I mean, with the things she's done,
Yeah,
she does need that much security, and that's the only thing that she should have.
I don't know.
I would argue that's why he's afraid to say her name, is that he doesn't have $1 million in security, and he is now opposing Tiffany Henyard. I would be terrified if I were him.
He's absolutely going to be in the river in a week.
Jeff Galooly. Second time I'm making a Nancy Kerrigan reference in about a week. I probably shouldn't do it. It is the Olympic
Yeah,
week,
you're
though.
locked in, baby.
I'm locked in the Olympics, but they got.
You're just in the schmood.
Why? Wow. Okay. Let's finish up the story here from WGN.
Won't be easy, but it will be a historic race they're ready to take on.
We have the right team. We have a winning team. Our team will be changing the narrative around the village of Dolton, and we will be restoring order, decency, and dignity to this community.
Love it. Love it. Dare I say, it's been a busy weekend. Having done none at all about Jason House, I'm putting my support toward him.
Is that right?
Yeah, I really would feel bad if something came out about him in a week. But listen, Mr. House, which is an amazing name, I'm all for you as the mayor of Dolton. I got your back. What do you need? Tell me what you need and I will help. Any way I
probably
can.
funding for his campaign. Are you going to jump on that?
Well, let's talk about other things besides money.
Oh,
Yeah. What do you think he needs from you?
Yeah, what do you...
What do you think he wants, Lala tickets?
You're not the Obamas. You just want your endorsement.
My endorsement means something in the south suburbs. Let me tell you.
What, does he need, help moving a couch?
I would do that. They need couches in campaign offices. I'll come down and help. Whatever I can do. Mr. House, Jason House, running for the mayor of Dolton. Except money. It's a little tight right now. Things are a little tight.
What can you do for him?
Well, could
Impress him.
Would you have time to go out, put up flyers and signs and all that? It wouldn't cost any money.
No, you're right.
Would you have the time?
I don't want to give up that time.
Yeah, no. Let me, okay.
Can I put it that way?
So, is there anything you are willing to do for him? Is the question.
Let me
No
think.
money.
Yep.
No time.
Right.
But something that's going to actively help him
Yes.
defeat Tiffany Henyard.
Which doesn't involve any of your money or time.
Well, we have a highly rated morning radio show. By talking about it, does that help? Does this count right? I'm here. Does this count?
You're at work.
Yeah, you got to do something else.
It's got to be one other thing besides mentioning it on the radio.
Yeah, because that's you don't just win championships by practicing the designated amount of time.
Yeah.
You win championships by staying after the game, shooting free throws. You're in the weight room. Right now, you're just doing the bare minimum.
Yeah.
You're kind of doing nothing.
Oh, maybe a minute.
Because now you don't even sound that motivated to help him, which isn't helping his case at all.
I got to admit, I had some good adrenaline going there, and now I just don't know what to do.
It's a lot.
I was kind of excited because I want change down there for the people of Dolton that have been getting screwed.
But not like that bad.
But
What?
it's a long-
Give us something.
I will. So I can't pass out flyers like by Wrigley Field. That won't help.
That won't do anything.
Okay, they don't
You can't
vote.
just hang one on your door.
Yeah.
Although
You know what you could
you should
do?
get a yard sign.
He doesn't have a yard.
I don't have a yard.
You could hang it on your little deck. Hang it off your deck.
No, the deck
That
faces.
faces an
It
alley.
faces an alley, and no one's gonna see it.
Oh my God, you're the worst supporter. You know what you should do? This will cost no money.
Okay.
Okay?
I like where you're going
and
with
it's
this.
not extra time, but it gets his name out there.
Wow, 2 things I love. You said.
Put it on your car. Get his face on your car. Because you just advertise for him as you drive around.
What on the hood?
Yes, on the hood. Or we can strap a bullhorn to the car. You can just drive around town like, vote for it. He's like saying like the old school.
Like in Back to the Future?
Yes.
Willie Wilson, Mayor Willie Wilson, vote this week.
Also, in for more of my spooky folks, Nightmare Before Christmas, when they're like, "Has anyone seen Jack Skellington?" It's the big alarm on top of
Yes.
the car. You could do that.
Yeah.
So when he gets thrown in the river, you could help find him.
Well, jeez, who knows? Someone should protect this guy. We need some bubble wrap around him.
How about you volunteer as Secret Service? You're big.
I am big.
And as it turns out, you could also join the Secret Service, Brian.
Because anybody can.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. The Q Olympics are on the way. About 8:50 in case you missed what happened last week. So we have a board where myself, Kenzie, and Case all compete in events in the studio. And we have one coming up here at 8:50. We'll get to it in a second. We'll tell you what it is. We'll announce what it is in just a few minutes. So stay here, and then we compete. Right now, I think Kenzie's probably winning the gold count, I think. She made this beautiful board you can see on our social media.
I have 1 gold and 1 silver. Case has 1 bronze and 1 gold. And Brian has 1 silver and 1 bronze. So you have 0 gold medals.
Yeah, but as my
What?
dad said,
What?
Exactly. I know. Yeah. What?
My daddy said the Olympics are corrupt,
Well, they are.
so the gold that doesn't matter.
Your dad said it was corrupt?
Yeah,
In what way?
a whole bunch of ways.
Okay.
I mean,
can't-
they bankrupted an entire country of Greece
When?
in 2004.
Oh, I wasn't.
Case will explain it to you after the
I
show.
don't think it was on my radar at that point.
Brian, what's our Q Olympic event today?
So the Q Olympic event today is going to be.
Are you going to say it?
I want to see how long you can do that to wear. I'm trying to
God,
wear.
my hands hurt so bad.
I'm trying to wear out Kenzie because I don't want her to win the gold. It has nothing to do with hands. That's with your legs. It's called a wall sit.
Yeah, baby.
So you're leaning against the wall like you're sitting, and then you hold it as long as you can, and the person who can hold it the longest gets the gold, and then the silver, and then the bronze.
Okay, can I tell a story about this?
Yes.
Okay, so today we were going over what event we were going to do. We need to talk about this because the walls are not near the microphones, so we were working on it this morning. How are we going to do this? And Brian says to me, seriously, I don't know if this event is a good idea because I think I could do like a 5 to 10 minute wall sit, and it's going to sound horrible on the radio.
So
and I went,
before you continue, I really thought I could hold it so long
yes.
that we'd
miss a commercial break?
we'd miss playing a good song or whatever. I said, what are we going to do? We can't sit here for just.
And you can't stand up and like go play a song and be like, oh, we'll be back. 'Cause then
Yeah.
it would defeat. Right. And I go, okay. I go, tell you what, how about you go over to the wall for a second and I'll pull out my timer. And you said to me, that's not fair because then you'll get tired. And I said, I will do it with you. So we both walked over to the wall, and he got up after 10 seconds and said, never mind. He's not worried about it anymore.
And 10 seconds is a conservative estimate of how fast I stopped doing the wall sit.
Unbelievable. I thought something happened, and he like slipped. And so just so you know, Brian's concern is that he would be able to do this physical challenge for 5 to 10 minutes. So I don't know if he thought that there was going to be a chair there for him to sit on near the wall.
I didn't think that. I knew what it was, and I really thought I could sit and lean against the wall for a long time. I'm not trying to predict what's going to happen in this competition. I'm not trying to hustle you. I just don't think I'm going to last very long based on what happened at 5:30 this morning.
We're going to find out.
We're going to find out. But also, my adrenaline's going. Now I'm ready to win. America's in my mind, and I'm ready to go, I think.
Well, you have that in the back of your head. If you hit 5 minutes, I will buy you lunch.
Well,
That changes everything.
If you can make it 5 minutes.
can I choose where lunch is?
No.
Well, then it's not worth
You
it.
know what? You can choose where it is, but it can't be sit down
Up to-
because you're going to go to Gibson's. That's the problem with you.
So it's got to be a stand-up lunch?
You know exactly what I
terrible.
mean.
That's terrible. All right, so that's coming up here at about 8:50. Stay here for that. Also, I thought of some way I can help the hopefully future mayor of Dolton. We just talked about that a minute ago. I want to help him get Tiffany Henyard out of there and help the people of
Right, but
Dolton.
you don't want to spend any money or your personal time.
Jason House is the Dolton trustee who's running for mayor of Dolton to get Tiffany Henyard out of there. I thought of what I could do that won't involve money because the money's tight right now and time because I just don't want to give it up. I could be one of those people that texts you and says, vote for the mayor with a long thread of how to do it with a link and stuff. I can do it at my house and I can do it while I'm watching TV and I can help him out that way. So
Are
I could,
you going to individually text people?
yeah, because you know how much you like getting those random texts from like political parties saying, make sure you get out and vote for this person. Everybody loves those texts.
I love them.
So I could be that person that texts people of Dolton.
No, because then I have to fear about how sore your fingers are all the time. When you're like, oh, I was texting, but the mayor all weekend, so I can't push these buttons, right?
I didn't think of that.
Exactly.
That could happen.
Sore fingers.
All right, so I'll keep thinking of ideas I can do to help out.
I'd love to hear one tomorrow. Take a whole day. Think about it. Somebody on the text line 815 suggested you get a face tattoo.
Oh, I like that. That's good.
That's dedication.
What's that going to do?
It's an advertisement as you walk around.
Where on my face?
On your face.
His face on my face?
What do you mean where on your face? Does it make a difference to you if it's cheek or forehead? Is that the deciding factor?
Well, honestly, if it just goes
I
over...
guess with you it could be nose, too.
He's a good-looking guy. It could be his whole face
An
over my...
improvement?
Yeah. He's got... One of those guys looks good with a bald head and a beard. I want to be that.
Yeah, but you got a nice head of hair, man.
I know.
And you also can't grow a beard.
It's spotty.
Maybe you should get his face on a shirt and only wear that shirt till he gets elected.
Ooh, that's not a bad idea.
There you go.
I don't think Megan's going to like that when we go out to dinner and go to church.
Yeah, but you throw a blazer over it. It's basically business casual.
It's like a graphic tee.
All right.
It's like a Pedro for president
Yeah,
shirt.
it's like a Rolling Stones
Who
concert
cares?
tee.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q.